I'm taking a deep breath. Welcome to Unity Church of Overland Park and our live streaming service. I am Reverend Keri King, Associate Minister at Unity Church of Overland Park, and I'm in charge of congregational care. And I am so excited that you're here today, that you have felt invited to be here somehow, probably by spirit. Whether you're a longtime congregant or someone who just tripped over us this morning, we know that you are here by appointment. And we trust that the time that you spend here with us, you will find some inspiration through the words or the music, or even just the sense of being together in spirit. So welcome, everyone. We have decided to stop trying to outguess COVID. We just can't do it. And so we've decided that we will be live streaming until the rates indicate a level of spread we can feel safe with. As soon as that happens, we'll be sending up fireworks and smoke signals, and we will be back at Abdullah. We all want to be back together in our human experience as soon as we possibly can. But for now, we are so grateful for the technology that allows us to continue to be connected. I would invite you now to, before you turn off your cell phones, to like us if you're watching on Facebook and just share for a moment what you're doing today in this time. And then please join with me in taking another nice deep breath and realizing our oneness in spirit. That is our foundational understanding. So I'm going to light this candle as a symbol of the light that shines within us and the light that surrounds all living beings in, through, as, and around us. We are so grateful for this truth. And I invite you to affirm it with me together as we say, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now, our former board president, Tiffany Crabtree, will be sharing with us our visions and affirmations.
Oh no, I'm on mute. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we have technology only when the user does it well. So let me start that all over again. I am so sorry. I didn't realize I was on mute. Together can we hold the vision of a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And also together we hold in gratitude that we have a new minister, and so we say that we are centered in gratitude and joy as we embrace our new senior minister who co-creates with us a thriving spiritual community. And lastly, we continue to affirm that our future home for Unity Church of Overland Park is awaiting our blessings. And we together say that we are grateful for our new spiritual home that empowers us to fulfill our mission. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tiffany. We know those truths. We know those truths and we hold those truths. So let's go into even deeper prayer. Let's take another deep breath and relax. leaving behind all the busyness, the anticipation of what's to come, and simply be present in this now moment here. We are safe, we are loved, we are comforted, and we are cared for. And we know that that is not only the truth of those of us who are gathered around our various media right now, but we know that that is the ultimate truth for all of those in our country and beyond who are dealing with fires and hurricanes and COVID and social unrest. We choose to be the anchors. We choose to be the light. And we choose to do that with such power and strength from a spiritual perspective. We are empowered by the very creative force of God. And so we hold to this truth, to these affirmations. We take them deep into our heart, into that silence where we are empowered by that God as we wake up to who we are and what a gift that is. So we breathe in and we breathe out, and we simply open in gratitude, deep, deep appreciation for that which is ours, simply in the asking. For we are divine children of God. And so it is. Amen. And now I get to share with you the community update. And it's all about World Day of Prayer. You're going to find out today is all about prayer. But I'm so excited because our new minister also feels, as I do, that Unity World Day of Prayer is like Unity's High Holy Day. It's 24 hours of continuous prayer. Conscious, continuous prayer that we get to participate in, now in a virtual way. Due to the pandemic, it was felt that it was safer to do it virtually. And so actually, from the comfort of our homes, from the comfort of our beautiful little meditation spaces, we can come together with each other in a way that surrounds this entire world with that light and that love that is God. The theme, fittingly this year, is From Fear to Faith. Oh yeah, that's what it is. And I'm so excited for that because that's exactly where we want to go now. It starts on Wednesday evening, September 9th at 7 o'clock and continues for 24 hours through Thursday, September 10th. You know, that day, I just swear this is all so auspicious. That day is also Reverend Jackie's first day on the job. Official. I have to say, she's already been working behind the scenes. God bless her. But we want you to know that this is going to be a special World Day of Prayer because we have plans for our community, our UCOP community, to come together as one virtually also. Jackie and I will be doing our own UCOP World Day of Prayer service. We are all invited to come together with our wonderful Reverend Patricia Bass, along with Reverend Juan Del Hierro, as they present Unity's first bilingual prayer service at 11 o'clock on Thursday morning, the 10th. And there's even on this website, there's a place for questions that are being posed to you. It's called Reflective Questions. So if you want to bring yourself into that state of true prayer and spend some time virtually praying with everyone, you can look at these questions as a reflection to take you into deeper contemplation and bring you more open to that truth of spirit. You can also go online and submit your prayer requests, and you can even light a virtual candle that helps to shine or symbolizes the light of the Christ in, through, as, and around this entire world. I'm excited, and I hope you are. So please mark your calendars and watch your e-bless for the times when we will be coming together for this year's World Day of Prayer. And on that note, I'd like to bring in Tiffany Crabtree once more to bless our offering.
Hello again. So I'm not muted this time, so I think that everybody can hear me. We get to bless our love offering now. And as we take this into consideration, just know that this love offering, all of the money and time and talent and love and prayer that we send forth through us into Unity Church of Overland Park is also working in partnership with Spirit and in partnership with the community around us as we fulfill our own mission, which is that of transforming lives and empowering people to make a difference in the world. And we know that one person at a time, we are all doing that every single day in big and small ways. If you are writing a check to Unity Church of Overland Park, we ask that you mail it to the address listed below. Or if you'd rather donate electronically, please go to our website, www.ucop.org, or you can click on the Tidely button, which is in the e-news, which you can get every Friday. And right now, will everybody join with me as we affirm that through divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am joy-filled and grateful. And now I would like to introduce Faith Rivera. She is our vocalist this morning, and she's going to sing us in this morning with this thing called life.
Today is the day I will change my luck. I will find 3 pennies and they'll be heads up. I will walk like a queen in my tennies and jeans, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life, yeah. From the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Today is the day I'll remember to see. Only God, only good happening through you and me. I will not forget all the treasures due me, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Yeah, today is the day I'll be more of myself and my skin where I've been and everyone else. No more push, no more pull, simply flow as I go, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the stars and the sun, from that magical one-eyed empire of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between. I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. I am loved, oh so loved by this thing called life.
Oh, this thing called life. I'm one. Okay, that's my talk. I'm done. We're good. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Faith. That led us in beautifully to what I get to share with you today. I'm going to cry. I am so happy to be able to do this with you today. It has been a long journey, and it's still continuing, but I am so much better. And so I'm just grateful. I knew that my theme today had to be prayer. Part of that reason is because I knew that each one of you were holding me in prayer, and I know that that's the reason that I am here now. And so I am so grateful for your prayers, for your love, for your words of encouragement. I can tell you that on the days that I could only just lay in bed, on the days when I just had to rest, I knew you were there, and I am so grateful for that. Another reason why I wanted to talk about prayer is because, well, I love prayer. I just do. I love to pray. And it's the one thing that didn't get knocked around in my brain. No matter how early it was in my process of recovering from my concussion, I could still pray, and I'm so grateful that I could do that. It's a special place in your brain that does that, I believe. I also love my job as pastoral care minister here at Unity Church of Overland Park, so I get to pray a lot. So I've had a lot of practice, and I'd like to share some of my insights about that with you today. But first, I want to remind you also that this is also the time of year when we bring forward the prayer chaplains. You know, we have a group of, right now, we have 8 prayer chaplains. They wear their beautiful teal stoles, and they stand up on stage, and we talk about the wonderful things that they do. You need to know that those wonderful things have continued throughout all of the things that have happened. They have continued to meet. We meet virtually. They've continued to make their calls, which have always been, well, kind of virtual. They've continued to send cards of congratulations and condolences. They've continued to reach out to every congregant in some way, shape, or form, and to hold our entire church community in prayer. We are so grateful for them. And so let's just open our hearts for a moment to those people who also love prayer. World Day of Prayer is also coming up. And the theme for World Day of Prayer, as I shared earlier, is from fear to faith. And I believe that the way that you move from fear to faith is to wake up Jesus. You gotta wake up Jesus. And today, I'm going to tell you how. First of all, I'm going to ask you to just sit back in your chair for a moment. Just relax. And open that beautiful power of imagination. Yeah. And allow yourself to imagine that you're inside a big wooden fishing boat, one of those old-fashioned ones. There's no engines, there's no GPS, you're just in the boat. Yeah, there might be some oars. You're in there with some of your best friends. And you're floating on this large body of water. You can't see from one side to the other side where you are in this body of water. You cannot see land. But it's a beautiful day, and you're just floating along gently down the stream. And then you start to feel some raindrops. They're big, cold, wet raindrops. And you look off to the side and you realize that the cloud storms are rising. You hear the rumble of thunder, and the wind starts rocking the boat. And pretty soon the wind is coming up stronger, and the boat is rocking in not a very comfortable way. And oh my gosh, now this huge wave is splashed over the bow of the boat, and you're getting so wet. Oh, now what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, listen to me carefully. Open your eyes. Put your feet on the ground. You wake up Jesus. And hopefully, I can help you deepen that understanding of doing that today. You may have recognized that story a little bit because it's a takeoff from a couple of verses that are in both Matthew, Mark, and Luke in the Bible. That story about Jesus crossing the Sea of Galilee. I want to give you a little bit of context for this story. Jesus had just finished speaking about seeds to the multitudes. You know, Jesus was always speaking to the multitudes. And he had spoken about that tiny, tiny mustard seed, that seed of faith. If you just have that tiny bit of faith here, right here. I don't know if you can see me do that or not. It's in your heart. That seed of faith. And then also, there was those seeds that are sown in different places. Again, those seeds of faith. Some are tossed in the thorns and only grow more thorns. Some are tossed on hard, rocky ground. They don't grow either. But some seeds land on fertile ground. And you, my dear friends, are fertile grounds. So in this particular day, Jesus had finished speaking about faith. And he took his disciples aside and sat and taught them more about faith, about how that faith will bring them to the kingdom of God within them. Oh my goodness. Yes, that was the truth. And after that lesson, Jesus was pretty tired. And the whole group needed to get over the Sea of Galilee to Galilee by morning. And so they crawled into the boat, and Jesus curled up in the boat. He fell asleep. He was at peace. He knew who he was. He knew he was safe. He was good. The disciples are steering their way across the Sea of Galilee. And pretty soon, the storm comes up. That big storm, just as we just experienced it a few moments ago. The sea was raging. The water was roiling. Those guys were scared. They were going to die. They were going to fall out of that boat and drown. So what do? Well, they asked Jesus. The quote actually is, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." They woke up Jesus. And he said to them, "Why are you afraid, you of little faith?" Why are you afraid? I just spent hours talking about this faith thing, and you still don't get it. Of course, that is going on in the back of his mind. However, he did stand up in the boat because he was demonstrating his faith, and he rebuked the seas. That is the word that's used, rebuked the seas. That's enough of this. I'm not putting up with this anymore. I'm done. Those seas represent, those roiling seas represent the negativity that is in our lives sometimes. And Jesus just rebuked all of that. That's enough. End with the fear, end with the doubt. And then he claimed that which he sought. Peace, be still. And Jesus, being the man of God, literally, that he was, received the answer to his prayer immediately and effortlessly, pretty much. The seas called, and the disciples were in awe. And they said, "What sort of man is this that even the winds and the sea obey them?" And I can just see Jesus crawling up in the front of the bow of the boat, slamming the pillow over his head and going, "Oh, they still don't get it. They still don't understand that it is not me, but the God within them that carries them." So that was a little bit of an interpretation. But I'd like to go deeper into the physical juiciness of this story, because there's a lot of symbolism. That's what metaphysical means. We take it out of the literal and we give it a more symbolic meaning. So that Sea of Galilee, the Sea of Galilee represents that sea, that journey that we make across to that land of higher consciousness, of Christ awareness. The boat is a vessel that carries something. Well, let me tell you, each of us represents that boat. Our body is a vessel. We are a vessel for that Christ. Do you understand that? Have you ever taken that deep into your heart and gone, the wholeness of God, I can open up to that whole potential little me in this body? Do you understand what a miracle your body is? And yes, doesn't it make you want to honor it a bit more? It is a vessel for the very, as Reverend Jackie put it a few weeks ago, muchness that is God. Whew, I'm just tingling right now. And then, of course, there was Jesus in that vessel also. And Jesus represents that man divinity within each one of us as a human being. And then there are the 12 disciples. Now, our co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, talked about the 12 powers of man. And these are all abilities that we have as human beings. They are faith and will, understanding, imagination, zeal and power, love, wisdom, order, strength, release, and life. Yes, those are our abilities. But when we bring in our understanding and wake up Jesus, oh my gosh, you guys, then we step into our divinity and we can empower ourselves in ways that we cannot believe. So we've got a boat, we've got water, we've got Jesus, we've got the disciples. So where are we at with prayer and all of this? Well, let me just fill you in on a few things. First of all, whatever words we use in prayer, for prayer, are perfectly acceptable. We learned a long time ago that, there's these certain words that you pray to God for, for things to happen. Well, in Unity, that's not how we look at prayer. Prayer is the simple alignment, sometimes not always so simple, of our human self with our divinity, that great divinity that is everywhere all the time, in, through, and as us. But we're not aware, we don't hold that awareness very often for very long. Many of us. I know there's some of you that are able to do that. So we have to practice waking up Jesus. Effective prayer brings us to that place where we know the truth that God is our source. Not the check, not the next check, not the right doctor. That comes later. And God knows what we need. We don't need to say to God, I need this. No. All you need is to get your wires straight, to line up, to wake up Jesus within so you know what is coming. And this is why Prayer can be done anywhere at any time, but we also promote a serious need for practice of prayer and meditation. It's kind of like having an umbrella. If you don't even have one in the car, you're not going to be able to stay out of the rain. If you have one in the car, but now, there's so many of them with all sorts of newfangled things, you have to practice with it to know how to open it up. And that umbrella of prayer is what takes you through the storms. But you need to be able to use it efficiently and quickly. So yes, there is a time and a place for long-term, focused alignment with Spirit. And as you become more mindful and more aware, this becomes easier and easier, and it begins to apply in your life. You begin to see those places. Understand that there's always a space, however small, between the reaction to a situation and your response to a situation. There's always a space. And as we practice prayer and meditation, that space from a spiritual perspective widens. Sometimes we say, it just happened so fast I couldn't think. Well, sometimes if we are well grounded in our practice, we still can think. And that empowers us to slip into that prayer practice so quickly we don't even realize what happened. As we become more grace-filled through prayer and meditation, we are able to respond to God's will in a given situation and not our egos. In Unity, we have 5 steps. Other groups teach different steps, but interestingly, they're all pretty much the same. So I'm going to take you through ours, try to help you remember them. I'm going to get a little weird here. They are relaxation, concentration, meditation, realization, and appreciation. Let's just go one by one through each one very quickly here. Relaxation. I think we all know how to do that. You take a deep breath. Mom and dads, you do it with your children all the time. You take a deep breath. That is the beginning of connecting with Jesus. You allow yourself, when you're breathing in and you breathe out, you can't really focus on everything around. You can let it go. Just like earlier when you were in the storm and I said, open your eyes and listen to me. Yes, you too can stop the storm. You relax. You feel your heart opening up. And we wake up to Jesus by breathing into our vessel. The next step is concentration. And some schools of thought say, well, you focus on what you want. But truly, what we really want is moving into that space where we already have the answer to our prayer. We line up with the truth of who we are as God expressing. In our oneness with God, we are already present in the essence of what we need. So we concentrate, we focus on that truth. We realize that God is life and love and wisdom and ever-present good, and we feel it. As I said earlier, it is not about the words that you say. You can open up the Bible and find the words. You can open up any book on unity truth and find words, and you can read those and they will lead you to that space of that feeling of truth and love, and yes, I am one. It is a feeling. And then as you take that feeling, you take it with you into the silence. For that is where communion truly begins. That is where we have woken up Jesus. And the beautiful arms of God surround us and hold us and comfort us. There's no efforting. There's just presence. Perhaps some words of inspiration. But we simply revel in that silence, in that joy. And then from that place, as you stay lined up with the understanding of your oneness in God, we come to realization, oh my gosh, I get it. I get it. And there's this click. And I've had it happen so many times when I pray with people. There's this click that in that moment, I know. And I have no control over how those other people think about their situation. But I know. And I trust that as I know, that oneness that we are carries that knowing to the other person, but it is up to them to accept that. I know. Oh man, that feels good. And then, finally, you come to appreciation. Appreciation for what you have learned as a human being having a spiritual experience on earth. For the guidance that has come forth, for the gifts that you know are coming in this moment. For we are seeking to line up with substance, out of which all our good comes. The omniscience of God, that is God, already knows what we need. We simply line up. We just wake up Jesus. So, how do we apply this in real life? Gosh, it seems like a great idea. And I know a lot of you already practice it, but let's get better. World Day of Prayer is coming up, and Lord knows we've got some work to do. If we were all the great prayers that we believed we were, I'm pretty sure there'd be a lot more peace on earth. Let's face it. We can always dig deeper. We can always be more. And that is what we are called to be doing right now. So, in my life, in this moment, what has happened? Well, not in this moment, a little while back, couple weeks ago, I was out in my vessel of life, and the seas were calm. And I need to tell you that there is a group of 4 friends of mine. We went through ministerial school together, we graduated together, and we have bonded significantly over the joys and craziness that is becoming a unity minister over the years, because it is always a becoming. But my point is that we were close. So I'm floating along in my lovely boat down the wonderful river of life. And I look at my phone. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. One of those dear friends of mine had just lost her mother. Oh, the rain was starting to fall. Well, I took some breaths. I had some things I needed to do, but I knew that if I just took some breaths, that would wake up Jesus a little bit in there. So I went and I did some things, and then I came back to my phone, and I looked at my phone again. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. A second friend within this same group had lost her mother that very same morning. Okay, now my boat is seriously rocking. So before I make my phone calls to these dear people and try to be friend and minister at the same time, which can be a challenge, I breathe in, I focus. I focus on who we are as God expressing. And I realize that there are unlimited resources available to me in this moment, that I can pull in my powers of wisdom and understanding and will to carry myself and my friends through this process as they join me, as far as I'm concerned, in my boat. Then I moved into a quick space of meditation. And then I made some phone calls. Now, at the end of those phone calls, the second phone call, my friend says to me, "Oh, and you know what? We were talking and we realized that you are the only one with living parents anymore. Fun fact." Oh my God. Now the water had just washed over the boat. Yes, I was the only one with living parents. And they are 85 and 86. And heaven knows, every day is uncertain. Of course, that's true for all of us, but when you have elderly parents, it's even more apparent. And of course, those two friends of mine losing their parents so close together really just brought up all the feelings of sadness and loss and gratitude. And oh my gosh, my boat was just rocking. So once more, I took a deep breath and I focused again. And I went through all those steps again. Only this time I took it all the way to realization. Realization, where I stayed in that silence. And then it clicked. Not only did I realize that I was one in God, as were all of those wonderful people around me in life and beyond, but that there was help available to me right here, right now. And so, one of those helps was my sister, who sometimes just helps me to process through some of the hard stuff that life is. So I gave her a call and we talked for a few moments. And then I called my parents. And I was able to lovingly, caringly, clearly explain to them what my phone call was about. And I told them how much I loved them. And then I went about my day with deep love, comfort, and gratitude for my friends and my family. Yeah, was I a little sad? Yes. But I knew that I had woken up Jesus, and Jesus was with me. And I know that sometimes I use that word Jesus and Christ interchangeably. To me, Jesus is that sometimes we just got to get personal. And Jesus is the man. He understood. He still is that omniscience. He knows. And yet it is a way of identifying with something that is truly beyond our understanding. Sometimes just talking about the muchness just doesn't feed that little child within us who needs the hand of that Jesus. And that's what so often happens when our boat starts rocking, is our little kid starts going, whoa, oh. But we know the secret. We know how to wake up Jesus. So my challenge to you this week, and myself, is to follow these 5 steps across your sea of higher consciousness to the land of spiritual higher divinity. And remember now, these steps are relaxation, concentration, meditation, realization, and appreciation. I know that as we practice those steps on a regular basis and choose to use them in all the myriad opportunities that now come up in our lives as our boats get rocked so often, I see all our boats docking safely on the shore as we simply wake up Jesus. I invite you now to just take one nice, big, deep, cleansing breath and sit back and relax. My guess is that by now, many of you are already quite comfortable in your boat with your friends, Jesus, and the disciples. Just relaxing, being fully present. I invite you to become aware of each one of those disciples that you have within you right now. That disciple, that power of life, of release, of order, of strength, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, of wisdom, of love, of power. Embrace your power. Feel empowered by the truth that you know. Zeal, enthusiasm. Moving up into your imagination, your receptor for that great mind that it empowers your personal expression of God in the world. Your will to use all of these powers in such a way that we truly do live the Christ life. Understanding that this is what serves best and most in all situations. And last, but absolutely most importantly, that beautiful faith. That faith that as you choose to use it and grow it in that fertile soil of truth that you have surrounded yourself in, it grows. It carries you across the ocean and it covers you with abundance. Take that in for a moment in the silence. Feel the realization, that click. You know that you know that you know. And in that moment, there is a sense of awe and gratitude within you. It's not like Mom told me to write a letter. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't help myself. This is such a gift. And it is from that place of waking up to who we are, that I invite you to hear the words and the music of Faith Rivera as she sings, My Life Now.
There is just one life. That life is God's life, flowing free, moving through me. That life is perfect, life is my life now. No limits, no bounds. Deeper and deeper I go. It's sweeter than I've ever known. Oh, I never stop growing, 'cause love keeps on pulling me on. There's just one life. It's God's life. Oh, it's perfect. And it's my life. My life, just one life. It's God's life. Oh, it's perfect. And in my life now. Love is my purpose. Freedom my birthright. Joy unfolds as my very soul. This time I claim it. Oh, every time I feel it, God is real, the truth of me. The deeper and deeper I go, it's closer than I've ever known. God is living in my heart, it's beating next my own. There's just one life, it's God's life. Oh, it's perfect. And in my life, just one life. It's God's life. Oh, it's perfect. And it's my life, my life. Now I'm awake. Now I live grateful. Now I'm giving over, giving up to the one that knows the way, to every dream, every desire, pulling me up higher and higher. There's just one life. It's God's life. Oh, it's perfect. And in my life, just one life. It's God's life. Oh, it's perfect. And in my life, it's my life, my life now.
Thank you, Faith. Thank you, thank you. I was watching you and really thinking about how blessed we are to have such great and fun soloists every Sunday. And thanks for joining us remotely. It's really nice to hear your music. And thank you, Fred, for coordinating these soloists every Sunday for us. It's a great treat. So I just have a few announcements for us. We will be having our Zoom coffee time and connection time after the service. So just log on to Zoom and join us with the ID 376-922-0711. It's a nice time to connect with everybody after the service. Also, a reminder that the UCOP kids and the Uniteens will be having their weekly Zoom meeting following today's service. The kids will be following up with the 5 loaves and 2 fish. So for more information, please check out the UCOP Facebook page. Kelly Corbett posts information on how to join there. And then also Monday through Friday every week at 11:30 in the morning on Facebook, you can join the Inner Connection Time. This is a 15 meditation. It's a time to turn within and connect with spirit. And you can join Reverend Keri tomorrow morning at 11:30 for that time. And then next Sunday, which is September 6th, we will be continuing our Sunday services virtually, and we will welcome back Kelly Hunt for her music and a very special message called Silver Linings, the Power of Intentional Gratitude. So check out the weekly e-news or our website for details and more information and any other updates that come along throughout the week. And now I'd like to bring back to close us out Faith Rivera as she sings Stayed on Spirit. Thank you.
I'm so happy that I got to be here with you today. Let's sing it out. This is Stayed on Spirit, soulful traditional song. Yes, let's sing it out. Here we go. Woke up this morning with my mind. We sing, Stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. We sing, Stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. All day long, I keep my mind. Sing it to me. Stayed on Spirit. All day long, I keep my mind. Stayed on Spirit. All day long, I keep my mind. Stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking, talking and talking with my mind. Stayed on Spirit, Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on Spirit, Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You ought to wake up in the morning with your mind. Everybody sing. Stayed on Spirit, Spirit. Wake up this morning with your mind. Oh, stayed on Spirit, Spirit. Wake up this morning with your mind. Oh, stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Last time. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Oh, thank you, Faith. I love that song. And if you stay focused on faith, well, no, on spirit, you could stay focused on faith too. She's got some good CDs you might want to check out. The point being that we are so grateful and that all we have to do is remember to wake up. Wake up, Jesus. So please say with me this prayer for protection that can be your mantra for waking up, Jesus. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. All is well. Remember, it's about the feeling. And please, stick around just long enough to say with me, Unity Church of Overland Park transforms lives and empowers people to make a difference in the world. Thank you so much for each one of you spending your time with us here today. If you would like to connect, I'm going to pop on for just a few minutes onto hospitality at the Zoom meeting. That number again is 376-922-0711. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless.